mathematics, and unfortunately, the class monitors, there is no job. Oh my God. Okay, let us for a minute discuss as now Libya is. What did we talk about? The cost of, we said that the cost of an angle equals what? The cost, yes, Mr. Mayan, can tell us it's what? Adjustment over hypotenuse. Thank you very much. Can you please clap for Mr. Mayan? We say that the cost of an angle equals what? Adjacent over what? Hypotenuse. And actually, what did we talk about? The sine of an angle. Sine theta equals to what? Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your foolishness. I thought this thing in the last lesson we had. What did we say the sign of an angle? I told you, I don't know what's wrong with this. Adolescence is still disturbing you. At your age, you're being disturbed by adolescence. Sit properly, even what's happening. Who can tell us the sign of an angle? Yes, Kachawa Yambu. Yeah, that is correct. I will please clap for Kachawa Yambu. Opposite over hypotenuse. And we said the tan of an angle is what? Yes?
Sir, I think the answer is 1 plus 1 is equal to 11.
This is mathematics. This is mathematics. Mathematics is for only men. You girls can't handle mathematics. How can you say that the tan of an angle is 1 plus 1? Sincerely, that is the stupidity of the highest order. No wonder you're managing material. Opposite over adjacent. Can you please clap for Mr. Mayanga? I request you all. Don't disturb, we don't disturb the children. I told you already. First sit properly, then you raise up your hand in a good manner, but you're I request you to all please raise down. And the last advice I would like actually to the one that is behind is women, because you're not girls. Even if you are in senior 5, you're not what? You're not girls. You women, you're supposed to go and do what? Supposed to go and marry while providing what? She's looking at me. While providing sexual enjoyment. Welcome back from the short break. We are still continuing with our discussion. In the previous session, we looked at education in hard times, inclusive education, and we are back for another session.
I think we've enjoyed the break.
Yeah, actually, even as we were in the studios out there, did you see that advert of that teacher?
And to me, it was quite annoying.
Yeah.
He really seems like that guy.
Actually, the names in that class, that school must be beautiful.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Those names, you're right. Those names like Triando, whereby people are mixed up from all, even the teacher looks to be someone with different kinds of blood. One of them is Soga, the Muchiga, all that stuff.
And you know, I always kept wondering why that Ivan Jovans could refuse this question.
Wow. Anyway, dear viewers, we are still here for our discussion. We told you the number will be displayed. The number will be displayed right at the bottom of your screen. And those who are on Twitter, and Facebook, you can contact us. Just put in Studio 8 and you'll be live and you'll be in touch with us. And right now, we are going to start again with for our last session with gender education.
Yeah, and I hope everyone out there will want to know about gender education. Makerere education history. I think you've seen from the short break that one way or the other there is some gender imbalance even in our schools.
Don't touch the nose. Yes, Mr. Alan.
Yes.
I understand you're a civil servant of this nation and you're a great citizen of this nation. Right now, we're going to talk about gender education in the world. Okay, gender education in general.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh yes.
And I think after this short commercial break, my words will be few. You will find that most of the work that I should have done has been passed through this short commercial break. Gender issues in education are a contextual issue, and you'll find that these issues are brought about by teachers who are out there listening. They are brought about by the community, and they are brought about the education institutions themselves. However, this has been a widely studied sector of education, and after combining all the views of various stakeholders in education, we have come up with what gender challenges mean. Gender challenges mean that there is a shortfall in gender matters in our educational institutions, and this has bred the word or the term gender equality. Everywhere you shall go, you shall find people talking about gender equality. And what do we mean exactly by gender equality? By gender equality, implicitly we mean that there is gender inequality. And it means that gender, being male or female, we have different opportunities in our quest for education. Gender equality means that men and women have equal opportunities to raise their individual potential, both to contribute to their country's economic and social development, and to benefit equally from their participation in society. Men and women, male and female, should have equal opportunities to realize their individual potential. But what did we see in our previous class? Women were taken as if they are vessels in class, and they were abused. I think in that class, as an educationist, we had gender equality. According to Sadiq, he is an educationist. He says that by sitting in the same class, by reading the same textbook, and by being taught by the same teachers, females and males end up getting an equal education. And this has been brought about by various causes. We shall find out that in Uganda, for example, we have the gender desk in the Ministry of Education. And this desk is particularly responsible for seeing to it that there is equitable access of education for both girls and boys. There is an increased performance of girls in sciences, and particularly mathematics and natural sciences. The issue of this teacher saying that girls do not perform in mathematics has been found out to be a lie. The gender test also looks at gender-sensitive curriculum. You'll find that people teaching literature, you are going to have a set of 6 books, 6 novels to read, but all of them are written by men. Talk about Chinua Achebe. Talk about Muki Young. Talk about this man. Talk about Oyono. Everything is by men. Look about physics. You shall find that the one who found out the law of gravitation, a man. The one who found about all those laws are men. You look at the instructional materials used. They tend to recognize the contribution of women to education. The gender test also looks at gender-responsive teaching methodology. Please, teachers out there listening, you should use a methodology that is gender-responsive, that should care for boys and should care for girls in the same classroom. Then there is protection of girls against violence. In most cases, you go to, our friend here was talking about conflict zones. You shall find that girls are the ones that are being raped as a weapon of war. You shall find that girls are the ones taken hostage to care for the rebels, and etc. and etc. Now, there are causes of this gender inequality in schools. And before I go any further, I want to make it clear that gender inequality does not mean that females are uneducated.
Uncle Kwasa,
Yes.
we have a caller.
Yeah.
Yes, caller.
Hello?
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is TV from Swera.
Oh, move away from your TV. I can't get you clearly. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have one question for Professor.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You talk of gender inequality. What can we do as a society? What can we do to eradicate gender inequality in education system and in society as a whole? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Sempira Dennis. Akamkwasa, I think you've had our caller. He's asking for the remedy of gender inequality. And what's your take on that?
Yeah, before we can very well understand the remedies for gender inequality in our schools, first of all, we need to ask ourselves, where do these gender inequalities come from? I was coming to that point before Mr. Dennis called in, and we find that the causes of gender inequality are in our schools and are in our communities. You'll find that we shall divide these causes into community-based causes of gender inequality and institutional-based causes of gender inequality. And to get the remedies of gender inequality, we need to look at these causes separately, community-wise and institution-wise. First of all, in our community, we have many causes of gender inequality. First of all, poverty and child labor. It is quite evident that most, or if not all, countries of Africa, Latin America, Asia, and some parts of Europe, there are poverty issues in these families. Poverty will bring about gender inequality in our educational setting. Poverty will bring about gender inequality in education in a way that when there is lack of money in the household, you'll find that in a society where men are dominant, families will prioritize boys attaining education. And in societies where we have women dominating, families will prioritize girls having their education. As you have seen the parent, he gives 10,000 to his girl and only 1,000 to his boy, because maybe in their society females are dominant, and they prioritize the what? The education for females. Then next, you shall find that social cultural constraints. You shall find that in Muslim-dominated areas, you shall find that they tend to prioritize boys than girls. So by social and culture, you shall find that we have gender inequality up to the institution. Then when we go to schools, teachers tend to socialize females towards a feminine ideal. They tell them, girls cannot manage this, girls cannot do that, but boys can do this. Teachers are implicitly empowering gender inequality. Then we shall find another point that there is gender bias is also taught, as I've said, in the resources chosen for classroom use. Novels by men, experiments by men, etc. So, by remedies, we shall ensure that governments maybe provide for affirmative action. For example, the government of Uganda adding 1.5 points to girls in order to raise their status in education. We shall also find that we need gender mainstreaming in curriculum. When we are planning our curriculum, when literature people are planning their curriculum, let them include works done by women. When the physics are planning their curriculum, let them include works by women. And in so doing, I think we shall do away with gender inequality.
Thank you very much, Akamwasa. That was really awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome. You know, sometimes there is even children themselves have a perception that they can do things. So boys always believe they can do things better than girls. Actually, one told one that for us when doing practicals, you record the results and handle the apparatus.
Actually, I appreciate some schools down there, just down as you come to our studios, just down there. When the children are going for PE, you find even the girls putting on men as in boys sportswear, and yeah, that's really good. I think we are getting somewhere with gender equality, isn't it?
Yeah, we are getting somewhere.
Thank you very much, our viewers, and we are really now going to our last topic of the day. But I want to remind you that next week we shall be right here with a new topic, and that will be how to make money. Please don't dare miss just stay tuned.
Yes, and our next topic, as I said, we're going to look at feminism in education. We have really looked at gender, and we are seeing the need that we need democracy in our education system.
And the person going to handle it is Honorable Reverend Pastor Bishop Professor Okongo John. Yes, Mr. Okongo John. Feminism in education.
Thank you, dear moderator, and our viewers at large. Praise God. My name is John Okongo, and I'm going to handle feminism and education. And I will first of all request all of us to that what we are discussing here will be restricted to academic purposes only. Feminism and education. By nature, we all know that we come from divergent socio-political and economic backgrounds.
Yes.
Where we have different societies and different societies, where we have different people, where we have women and men, and these people are treated differently, based on sex, based on their status. Now here comes, it is just like a disease, which needs to be what? Cured. And here comes the solution of feminism. What does it say? Feminism in a precise note. It is the study of how women and girls are treated in our society. Precisely to define feminism, it may include the collection. It is a collection of movements and ideologies aimed at re-establishing and redefining the status of women in our schools. let's take particularly the school environment, where we have women, where we have ladies, where we have girls, you can call it. In most schools, we have only male-dominated schools. We have schools which are only headed by men. We have schools which are only, the majority of the students there are what? Are men. Now, it is just like, it is unfair treatment of ladies. And that's why this theory comes in to try to cure that problem. Now, other than me, there are other what? Personalities behind this what? This theory. The first one is, the first personality there is the Anna, Oakley, and the second one is Claire. All these are ladies who are very, very educated, and they have high intelligence to what? To handle the issues affecting what? Affecting women, especially girls in what? In our respective schools. Now, to sum everything up, I will wish to discuss the types of feminism, maybe extremism, and conformism. The theories, in short, we have radicals, we have socialists, we have liberals, but all these people, what do they say? They are trying to say, the first they say that in order to fight patriarchy or the mistreatment of ladies or women in schools, we need to lay down strategies or rules and regulations to make sure that the unfairness in our schools are averted. The second thing they are trying to say is that if the social injustice in our schools are to be averted, there should be sensitization of women and girls to be aware, to know that they are also people in society. Now, according to radicals, they say the mistreatment of ladies is based on the gender division of labor. That the reason why why people say it is the ladies to teach divinity in schools, it is the ladies to do maybe CROE and others in schools, and the men are supposed to handle mathematics, like our teacher here was handling mathematics, and some other boys only to do sciences. That one is what? That one is injustice, and it should be what? Treated or cured.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. John, for telling us about feminism. Actually, time today is not our best ally, but Farida, I don't know, even today in our nation here in Uganda, there are a couple of things coming up. There are feminists who have come up, the likes of Livia Tamale, the likes of, yes?
Hello?
Yes, caller, your name and where you're calling from? Live on Studio 8.
Yes, I am.
Yes?
My question is, how has this feminism impacted on education?
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. John, you've heard Ivan very well.
Feminism can be reflected in our school environment in so many ways, both positively and negatively. On a positive note, we discover that with the efforts of the agitators of feminism, our curriculum, the national curriculum, has been reformed. Or there are some tremendous changes in our curriculum system. This one particularly to cater for all the divergent views and differences of our students or learners. We have girls should not be left out. Boys and girls should all be incorporated into the system, such as there are some senses of understanding of ladies and boys. Wow. Secondly, in our society, in our schools, we have now some peaceful coexistence between girls and boys. In so many schools, as you may be aware, we now have boys and girls just interacting freely. But had it been because of the agitators of this school of thought, maybe perhaps we would not be seeing what such things happening. Maybe negatively, despite the efforts put forward by the agitators of this theory, of this school, we still have ladies or girls with low self-esteem We still have ladies who say, no, for me, I'm naturally what? Weak. I'm not supposed to do sciences. I'm not supposed to even attain what? Education. And for that matter, they still think that their only role is to go and look for what? To go and look for soft things to do, like a cookie, taking care of the humanity and so many others.
Yeah, actually, on that very note, when you relate it to the marriage and divorce bill around, it seems like feminism may not achieve it, like most of its goals. Because when you look at the bill, most of the men are crying that my property will be taken away. Like when you look at it critically, it's like the bill, or whatever the feminists, the likes of Sylvia Tamale, the Miriam Atembes are chasing, it's like women cannot make enough property that they can, it's like they are being underlooked. So they cannot have the equal status in society. And probably we need to check on that. If you look at our city chairperson, Nyakana, former chairperson, actually his wife is having more possession than Nyakana. And really, if you look at such things, so women should really see that they have the ability to get it right. And it's even, dear viewers, it's even evident here. We can never be equal with my fellow moderator here. Yeah, we can never. Because, first of all, I'm paid more money than you. Oh yes, I'm paid more money. Did you check the payroll?
I'm also paid more money than you.
It is impossible.
I think we can all be equal.
Yeah.
Women can do the same things men do. We can all own property. We don't need an industrial action. We don't need their
Actually, let me read very quickly some of the messages on Facebook and Twitter. For which Derek over there commenting on gender education. He's saying, abakazi babaleke bakulenga bamanyi okukola ki okufumba obulungi okusinga ebyokusoma. Anyway, that's the way down there in Kayunga. There's this person in Bukoroto, Geoffrey. Thank you very much. Yes, Joan, thank you for participating. Gloria, St. Peter. There are very many messages coming in. Let's keep chatting on our Facebook page. Just because of time, we cannot exhaust each and everything.
Please, next time, don't forget Education TV, Studio 8, from 2 to 3 p.m.
And don't forget, next time we are bringing right here a very great man, Dr. Mugaga. Thank you very much, our young guests, and let's practice.
I hope you've taken this presentation very serious, because you shall not set exams outside this room. And if you look at the past papers for the last 2 years, we are stating more of common sense questions. The aim of that is to teach a lesson those who can't lecture, because they can always get notes and read. But this one, for example, if I told you to dramatize a scene on how to better girls and boys' situation in school, it would be a good question. But I want to thank the group for work well done. And when you look at democracy in education, it is bigger than mere getting a textbook and reading it. It involves issues of inclusive education, gender issues, conflict management in school or at school, peace education in post-conflict areas, and generally gaining confidence within the realm of the agenda. Many of us are disadvantaged not because of self, but because we ourselves begin on a paradigm disadvantage. By the way, these are the very obscene teachers. They are teachers who teach like that. And by the way, it's not only in seemingly fake schools. I was in Namgongo, and we had a teacher who named different students different body parts. Whenever she came to class, she said, this. But the important thing is, how do we refine ourselves? Because the insults we bend out to students, they never forget us. But the good we do to students, they'll never also forget us. At times, I've been good. And at times, I've been good. There are times when I catch some of you copying and I get the paper and I tear it. And I move away. And then someone says, why didn't you report that? Why did you tear the paper? Why didn't you take up the case up? The punishment between tearing the paper and not tearing it is hostile. Punishment is expulsion. Tearing a paper is retaking. It is not even retaking. It means that it's paper. So as teachers, we have to use, of course, some of you know that when I was in charge of exams, I would come, chase all those who have not paid, and take them to another room. Far with you loudly while everyone is seeing. And then I take you to another room and you sit from there. Or write on that paper. The paper only be marked after you have produced the bank slip. Why do you think I do that? Because there is life after Makerere. Life in the field, I need you and you need me. As teachers, remember that fact. This small boy you might harass, tomorrow could be the in charge of the Air Police. This other guy here, the Julius man, the sister man, is my former student here. I think one day we quarrel because of coming to exam late, but I let him go. So, but what I've liked most is your creativity. I was, actually, the same school began it. We used to teach traditional philosophy. Reading notes, but at the end of the day, what is students benefit? Assuming these guys who have been presenting were given a job on a radio station or TV, to work there one day as an interview, do you think they would pay? No. So, I don't know, that means to these guys that if tomorrow you went to school and they told without trying you are like in the radio station or TV, you are bogus. It means, think of doing a certificate in journalism, you be far much ahead of the journalists. Finally, something which I felt they never handled very well was the issue of democracy. And I think because the other gentleman was running for another thing. But when we talk of democracy, we mean accepting others as they are in our society, given the fact that we are living in a diverse society with lots of tribal orientation. It also means teaching learners how to get involved in their civic or to meet their civic obligation. That's Civic obligation means getting involved in politics, paying tax, voting for leaders, joining parliament, and so on and so on. How many of you are willing tomorrow to go and tussle it out in the army? In the army. You see, what amuses me, many of us want a good country, but it means there are other people who will keep that country well. At times I used to laugh at my fellow Uganda. We have a beautiful song. That song, for someone who doesn't know Uganda, it's Tiwa Tia Uganda Chavata. And the glory of Uganda started long ago. But the important thing to me, as much as they sing that song, they don't want to join the army or police to guard that glory. So at the end of the day, they end up singing the Tiwa Tia Uganda Chavata. Meaning that the glory of Uganda died a long time ago. Even after that people buried it. The Americans, those guys in North Korea, have been able to do what they are because all of them are military. In Israel, all men who have 3 legs, as they must have to join the army. And as they must, at the age of 5, all of you have 3 legs are taught how to handle a gun. Actually, Israelite boys and those Palestine boys never play with toys, they play with pistols without bullets. So by 5 years you can shoot accurately. But for us, that's democracy today. North Korea has put everyone at ransom. Why? Because they're militarized. Look at the Kenyans. The last time I watched on TV, some woke up at 1 o'clock in the night to go and vote. In Uganda. When did I last vote myself? I don't remember. So, you see the imbalance. But that should begin at school. Democracy should begin at school. We should be democratic. We just had elections, we are democratic. As message. The guild. And finally, on feminism and gender, it is very hard to make a clear distinction between feminism and gender. That thing came about because of the unfairness both men and women paid to women. You see, the worst enemy of women are women. And the worst enemy of women are men. Why? Men, there are many things in our culture which demean the woman. But at the same time, there are many things women do which demean the girl. For example, the way they dress. It's very hard to raise your status if you are dressed like a calico, something like mollusk. So you position yourself like a pleasure flower for men, a Christmas mistletoe, a kind of doll for men, teddy bear for men to play with. And in life, women who are dressed majestically, men fear to harass them. Women who are dressed carelessly, normally, we assume that they are advertising and would be wrong or stupid not to check for the press. So, the way girls position, and at times in society, at petrol stations, girls have put on short skirts so that men come buy their fuel. And even in bars. So, and unfortunately, the Sylvia Tabares never talk of that. The Matembes never talk of that. But at the same time, we men, I don't see how I can slap my wife. How? How? Even if she cheated on me, then let her go. It means she has felt I'm inadequate. And at times we men tend to think that women are not human beings with feelings. Women have a crush for people, they have feelings, they have blood. They also see a good man. They admire as we admire. That means that if we educated people to know that, then a man will think twice before cheating on his wife. Because you know, the pain I feel when they cheat on me is the pain the woman will feel. Of course, all of us men at one time may cheat. But I think a better man, if I cheated and my wife never got to know, I'm a better man than one who goes home to show her that she's cheating. Even in Islam, by the way, Islam is a religion which most elevates a woman. Islam elevates a woman to a terrible degree that even Nabi Muhammad, peace be upon him, recommended that only get 4 if you can love them. But you think, and this one have the same substance of sweetness? It means even Islam has its what? Not weakness, has its boundary. If you cannot, it means if I bought a dress for her, I have to buy banana. If I went to her home and ran 5 laps, then I have also to run 5 laps. Now, our education system, because of the imbalance which has been witnessed, that out of every 100 students, 10 were girls, especially at university. But I remember at that time, in our year, those who were offered in economics, there were only 3 girls out of 35. 3. Others were boys. So eventually in 1992, the affirmative action came in where they gave girls the 1.5. But even with that 1.5, we still have less girls. Apart from in law, and law is probably is flooded because they come from Namabunga, Kawembe, and so forth, and so on. But still have less girls. And you know, if you educate a woman, if you make these guys civilized, then we are all civilized. If you make women courageous and affirmative, then you've made that all of us affirmative. I'm a person who grew up I'm a single mother. I'm a product of a single mother. But I don't think I'm a failure. Either any of my brothers or sisters are failures, none. But all those who grew up with my father, failure. Failure. They drink, they are bogus, drugs, struggle on their own. So, what am I trying to say? The moment you educate your girls, of course there are certain funny tendencies where at times girls also rush. But many of our girls, they wanted to steal and bring back home. Now, they talked about the marriage thing. That thing is for married people. Because for me, I don't see how we share things with my wife. My father, before he died, he told me something interesting. When you get fed up of a woman, pack up your property and go. And let your children stay in a comfortable place. My wife has more money than me. But she has never undermined me. But I'm more educated. And but you see, most women think if the woman has more money than you, then she will. No! At the end of the day, if you read no achievement book, with or without money, you are still the man. With without the money, it will be me to send a ballistic missile. You can't send any ballistic missile with me. I can never get pregnant. The one-way traffic. So, this feminism and gender aims at empowering men so that men empower women. That's why the Europeans say behind every successful man there is a strong lady. And for most of our frustrations, they manage to get the part of that woman who crushed the husband on the gate. When things go wrong in the home, then even at work things will go wrong. Finally, at times we advocate for educated people to marry educated people. But at the end of the day, the choice lies in the beholder of what one is having. Whether educated or not, what matters is your feeling. Because at the end of the day, our gadgets have no degrees. Gadgets of an educated person has comfortably get into a gadget which is uneducated or educated. But it would be very good if one got an educated person. A person you can sit down with and talk and discuss. A person you can sit down with and you say, you know what, I don't have money. A person who can say, yeah, when you go in for someone whose wavelength does not tally very well with yours, the most likely repercussion will be production of children like rabbits. Because whenever you go to bed, what do you talk about? Nothing. Because you can't talk about the news, can't discuss this, so it will be the gadgets people. You can't educate the brain and discuss issues. Finally. For my daughters or my sisters, project yourself as human beings of substance and you will have respect and equality. Project yourselves as maggots, as men's football pitches, for them to do some press-ups and they treat you thus. And by the way, men are in the bad habit of saying it nakedly. you are boy. And then you come up with money. I'm tired. Let me go and chew a grass. So try your best not to be taken as someone's massage machine or someone's football pitch. Next week we shall see. We shall try to discuss among ourselves. We are told teachers are poor. Teachers are miserable. Now how can we put ourselves from that quagmire, that unfortunate scenario? How can we be innovative? How can we get rich? Not the degree of the Karims and so forth, but a reasonable stature where one can buy a loaf of bread for his people at home and a piece of meat for his household at home. We shall try to see how can we be innovative so that after about 10 years, I don't meet some of you and I wonder, was that girl my classmate? I said, no sir, you told me. So if I can say you are my classmate, I was at the university in 1990, before you were born. Then if I say that you are my classmate, it means you have depreciated by about 1,000% depreciation. And the biggest cause of depreciation is poverty. Poverty and misery. Many girls make miscalculations. Many girls think that because we are able to give you money while you are at the university, we shall continue giving you money. In most cases, when you leave third year, you become a liability to that man who has been poaching on you. Because he knows he has to get up for you, he has to look after you, you become more expensive, so he jumps out. And when he jumps out, that's when you discover that you have classmates whom you abuse. You try to go back to them, they also take you as an off player. And I think you guys who have begun to see me, those who ignore you in first year are beginning to do it. That is part of life. I'm telling you, the best love, the best person is one. Like there is a book in the Bible, Prophet Amos. No, Hosea, the prostitute. Let her go. She comes back. Life would have killed her and she would have learned her lesson. The only good thing that is she has not learned lessons and comes back to die zone. Ready to annihilate you. So in which case you have to plant spring. Otherwise you might have in first year moved with Mugaga, in second year went to Bubu, fourth year and then it comes back to you. When it comes back to you, poor man, you have remained very close to the Virgin Mary. And what the Virgin Mary has the difference to you is being in heaven. The Virgin man on earth. And then is present. So, they said Faizo. I wonder whether Faizo can be a virgin. Of course, you might be a virgin physically, but a perpetual masturbator. That is one The most important thing is keeping alive. Keeping alive and remembering all the stupid things that has been telling you. Because I've been giving advice at times in a foolish way, in a stupid way. But artists think one word. We shall meet next week. One minute last.